Batman Rogue Files, Two-Face. Childhood abuse fractured Harvey Dent's psyche right down the middle, leaving the rejected Gotham City District Attorney subconsciously sublimating a darker, more violent persona as an adult. This duality was mirrored by Dent's good luck charm, a two-headed silver dollar. Once my ally in justice, Dent's evil side reared its ugly head when gangster Vincent Maroney hurled acid into his face. As the left side of his face dissolved, so did the psychic wall holding his dark persona in check. With good and evil wrestling for control, Dent scarred one side of his lucky coin. It became the final arbiter for his new persona, Two-Face, whose every act would be decided by the flip of a coin. Now believing that justice is arbitrary, Two-Face holds practitioners of the law in particular contempt. As judge, jury, and executioner, he has murdered his own court-appointed attorneys and carried out lethal litigation against scores of Gotham's legal eagles. Batman Rogue Files, Calendar Man. The Calendar Man is Julian Day, one of the many theme villains active in Gotham City who are frequent irritants for me. Day's obsession with calendars manifests in crimes tied to specific days of the year. Though he has never progressed to become more than a third-rate supervillain, at one point he teamed with Catman and Killer Moth to form a group called the Misfits. Due to his lack of success, however, Calendar Man often finds himself behind bars. There, his bizarre expertise sometimes comes in handy. An incarcerated Calendar Man once helped me to deduce the identity of a serial killer whose crimes coincided with major holidays. Batman Rogue Files, The Riddler. Edward Nigma's schoolteacher once held a contest to see which one of her pupils could assemble a puzzle the fastest. Little Edward secretly photographed and assembled the puzzle, which he found in her desk, and studied its formation so he could easily win. After this event, puzzles became his life. Failing in school, he took a job as a carnival barker, running a rigged puzzle booth. From there, it was only a matter of time until he turned to a life of crime full-time, as one of Gotham's most famous rogues, the Riddler. The Riddler seems psychologically incapable of committing a crime without first posing a riddle to either myself or the GCPD. For the most part, we consider him a second-rate criminal, meeting defeat at not only my hands, but those of the Elongated Man, Flash, Green Arrow, Black Canary, and even the Question. Batman Rogue Files, Maxie Zeus. Maxie Zeus was a deranged gang leader who believed he was an avatar of Zeus, the Olympian sky god. Amassing a flock of worshippers who doubled as gang members, Maxie became a prominent leader in the Gotham underworld. After several clashes with me, Maxie Zeus moved to Los Angeles and founded a team of super beings he called, with typical hubris, the New Olympians. After a violent clash between these New Olympians and the Outsiders, Maxie Zeus skulked back to Gotham City. At one point, Maxie was summoned from the underworld obscurity by Phobos, who wished to turn Gotham into Ares' base on Earth. Maxie gathered a new cult following and helped Phobos and his siblings take control of some of my most powerful enemies, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, and the Joker. During the ensuing battle, Maxie was slain as a human sacrifice to Ares. He has since come back. They always come back. Batman Rogue Files, The Penguin. Oswald Cobblepot fancies himself Gotham's #1 gentleman of crime. His criminal career as a murderous gangster is based on the fascination with birds. This dates back to his childhood, growing up with his widowed mother who ran a pet shop specializing in exotic birds. Short, paunchy, and burdened with a prominent beaky nose, his schoolmates nicknamed Oswald the Penguin. His fussy mother insisted that he carry an umbrella even on sunny days, making him the target of widespread ridicule. When he grew up, however, Oswald got his own back on the world by becoming a force to be reckoned with in Gotham City's underworld. Robin and myself have put him away many times. On parole, the Penguin tried to convince the public he had gone legit. To that end, he has become the owner of a premier Gotham night spot, the Iceberg Lounge. Secretly, he has used that lounge to grab up more power in Gotham's underground, and perform a series of spectacular robberies. In keeping up appearances of looking reformed, the Penguin has fed me vital information in the past. Batman Rogue Files, The KG Beast. Anatoly Knyazov is codenamed the Beast, and known to the CIA as the KG Beast. He was trained as an assassin by the Hammer, a top-secret cell in the KGB. In addition to being a master of several martial arts, he has also mastered the use of every known deadly weapon. And on top of all of that, his strength is cybernetically enhanced. The KG Beast was rumored to have murdered over 200 people before he even set foot into Gotham. I saw firsthand how ruthless he could be when he poisoned over 100 people at a banquet just to get to one target. In one of our earliest encounters, I ensnared his left hand with a bat rope. Rather than being detained, he cut his own hand off to escape. He quickly replaced his missing limb with another cybernetic gun. Currently, Anatoly is still at large, now going by just the Beast. He's described as one of the world's best contract killers. Batman Rogue Files, Kite Man, Hell Yeah, is something of his catchphrase. It's inspired by what his son said when he first flew a kite. Kite Man is a villain in Gotham City that commits crimes by arming himself with various kite-based weapons and gadgets. Charles Brown was once an engineer who specialized in aerodynamics. A divorced single father and an alcoholic, Brown began a life of criminal activities, which led to him being recruited by the Joker to design the Joker-mobile. This led to him being caught up in a war between the Joker and the Riddler, both of them repeatedly kidnapping him and torturing him for information, ultimately leading to his son being poisoned and murdered by the Riddler, causing Brown to create the persona of Kite Man and joining the Joker's side. Though the war was turning in Riddler's favor, Kite Man was essential in helping me capture nearly everyone on Riddler's side and bringing the war of jokes and riddles to an end, though Riddler claims to have orchestrated the whole thing. While Kite Man does continue to pop up in the Gotham underworld from time to time, I don't rank him as a very high threat. Batman Rogue Files, Mr. Freeze. Describing Victor Freeze as cold-hearted is just the tip of the iceberg. Young Victor developed an unusual hobby, freezing animals. He thought he was preserving his pets forever. Isolated and ridiculed, Victor believed he would never know the warm touch of humanity. And then he met Nora, but it wasn't long before his beloved was struck with a rare malady. Freeze left his teaching job to work for the drug company GothCorp, hoping that technology would help him find a cure, though exposure to a hail of supercoolants altered his body chemistry, and the brilliant cryogeneticist now has to wear a suit of air-conditioned armor to remain comfortably chilled. Desperate for a cure, Victor placed Nora in suspended animation to halt her disease. GothCorp decided to deny him the vital funding to save Nora's life. Wielding an ice-blasting cold gun, Mr. Freeze was born and revenged himself on the Soulless Corporation. Now he terrorizes the streets of Gotham as another criminal, motivated only by the money he needs to save his wife. He will often take jobs as hired muscle, but also frequently perpetrates his own crimes. I truly wish he could have chosen a different path within the confines of the law. Batman Rogue Files, the Condiment King, also known as Mustard Man, the Sultan of Sauce, the Prince of Pickles, Captain of Ketchup, Master of Mustard, and the Monarch of Mayo. The Condiment King is little more than an annoyance to me and the rest of Gotham. He has weaponized condiments and poses very little threat to most people, though as Tim has pointed out, certain sauces could cause damage to the eyes, or cause anaphylactic shock to those who are allergic. To that end, I treat him like any other threat and deal justice swiftly. It seems he never got to relish in even a small victory. Word on the street is that Mitchell Mayo ran afoul of another villain named the Human Flame and was on the receiving end of his own ketchup before being killed.